Hello, happy people, and welcome back to another egg cutting video. Today we're cutting clutch number 8 of 2023, and this is the second clutch of my Hypo project to hatch this year. I have 3 clutches in a row. Well, this is the second of 3. I have another one due in about 4 days. I'll probably space the videos apart a little further than that, though. But anyway, exciting time for me. The pairing for this clutch was a Orange Dream Enchi Fire Leopard Pied Het Hypo male to a Pastel Yellow Belly Double Het Hypo Pied female. And as I said, it's the second clutch of the project for the year. And yeah, I'm quite looking forward to seeing what we got here. We got 2 eggs have already pipped. Today's day 56, and they are ready to go right on time. This one I can already tell is something really cool. Just from the head, it looks hypo for sure. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but that's like purple. All right, we'll start with this one. Without further ado, let's get started. Wow. That is such a cool looking snake already. Purple and orange. So I'm not going to pretend that I can ID it just by looking at it. It's definitely hypo. I would guess OD, leopard. Just from the head too, looked Enchi. Let's see if we can get a little bit more of a peek here. Wow, that's cool. That's going to look really nice when it comes out of the egg. Well, I'm not going to speculate any further. I know it's a beautiful animal. It's good enough for me. Let's move on to the next one. It's hypo, but it's not pied, so not exactly what we're looking for, but beautiful animal nonetheless, and very likely a holdback, especially if it's a female, because it will be het for pied. On to egg number 2. This one, as you saw, had also pipped. So it's not a pied, it's not hypo. Not sure. OD Enchi Leopard, maybe. Het pied, 66% het hypo. Not sure. We'll see when it comes out. Let's take a minute to try our best to push the egg sac down so we don't cut into it. Okay. Oh, umbilicus is right there. Looks like he might be wrapped under it. I don't know. I'll keep an eye on it. It's not tight, but if that starts to look like it's tightening up, I'll have to get in there and untangle him a little bit. But from what I can see, it looks maybe a OD Yellow Belly. Not sure. Not sure. It might be hypo. Pastel Yellow Belly. I'm pretty sure that is Hypo. Can't see enough of it to really guess, but it looks beautiful nonetheless. So 4 eggs, so far no visual pieds. It's in stark contrast to the last clutch, which was 6 out of 7 were visual pieds. But that's okay. Odds aren't always with you that way. Doesn't mean you can't still get some cool animals out of it. Everything will be het pied, so could still advance the project for me. Well, there's a pied. Okay. OD pied, maybe OD Leopard pied, not sure. It's very tough when they're in the egg, especially for an amateur like myself who's still figuring it out. All right, one more. By the odds, this should be a pied, but who knows? Let's see. Yeah, it's a pied. Can't see much of the pattern, but that's okay. We get to find out in a few days. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with it. It'll come out on its own, and we get to find out in a few days, and you guys get to find out right now. And we're back. It's been some time. It's been more than 2 weeks. In fact, there's no animals in here. I just put it on the table for continuity purposes. The animals are put away in the rack because I've been really busy. Too busy to make a video, but they needed to have access to fresh water and get their own tubs. Some of them have even had their first meal at this point. So we're doing a little bit differently. I'm going to take them out of the rack and show you these animals. And let's get started. So animal number 1 is a Pastel Yellow Belly, 100% het pied. Sorry, Pastel Yellow Belly Hypo, 100% het pied. So I believe in the egg I called it Pastel Yellow Belly Hypo. It's actually Pastel Yellow Belly Fire Hypo. So it's pretty close. Probably the closest I got out of any of these animals. If I remember correctly, I kind of butchered the IDs in the egg. I am not good at IDing animals in the egg. Something that if you've watched any of my videos before, you probably already know. But that's okay. Anyway, let's have a look and see if this is a boy or a girl. That is a male. Yeah, that's a male. So animal number 1, Pastel Yellow Belly Hypo het pied. Animal number 2. This one here is a Pastel Enchi Leopard. Possible OD also, but I hesitate to call it OD. I don't know, what do you guys think? Show you the tail. Maybe, right? Maybe. But I'm not going to just throw that on the tub. For now, I'll put a possible OD. So yeah, Pastel Enchi Leopard, 100% het pied, 66% het hypo. Let's see what sex we got. That's a female. On to animal number 3. This is the animal, if you remember in the egg cutting, it had an umbilicus kind of wrapped over top of it. It ended up being perfectly fine. It absorbed Its egg sac, no problem. Didn't get tangled. There was no knots or anything. Unlike another animal in this clutch, which we'll get to and we'll talk about. But yeah, this one was perfectly fine. It's also quite a banger. It took me a minute to ID. I needed some help, but this one, it's similar to the last one, but with a few extra G's. It's a Pastel Enchi Fire, Yellow Belly, Leopard, OD. So, quite a powerful animal. Pastel Enchi Fire, Yellow Belly, Leopard, OD het pied, and 66% het hypo. Definitely we'll be getting this one tested for a hypo, if not all of them. I don't know. I got a few clutches that I need to test. It's going to get kind of expensive if I test them all. I might have to be a bit selective. But this one's definitely going to get tested. And it looks like a female to me. I'll check it again once it's had a few more meals. Beautiful animal. Animal number 4 is a Pastel Leopard pied. And say possible fire. I mean, it's really high white. That could just be the leopard, really. Not 100% sure on the fire. Only thing I have to go on really is the kind of color of the tail there. Not sure. Ultimately, it doesn't matter that much. Because one day we can breed her and prove it out. Her, I'm saying her, I haven't actually checked, but let's find out. Yeah, that's a female. Actually, this one might end up being made available. I don't know. I have so many animals to choose holdbacks from. I think when my season's over, I might make a video just selecting my holdbacks. So stay tuned for that in a couple months, maybe. On to animal number 5. This is my favorite animal from the clutch. Bam. This is the first one that we cut. It had the purple head. Just a stunning animal. I came down in the days following that egg cutting to check on this animal and just look at it multiple times because I couldn't believe what I was looking at. It's just gorgeous. This one's definitely staying here. IDing this thing was a bit, tough for me because as some of you guys already know, I'm not that experienced in this game. I've only been at it for 3-ish years, almost maybe going on 4 years, something like that. But never hatched an animal that looked like this before. I was even thinking like maybe it's a visual pied and it's just like so high patterned. Like I was losing it looking at this thing. At the moment, with some help from others, I've got it narrowed down, kinda. I'm calling this Orange Dream, Yellow Belly, Enchi Fire, Leopard, Hypo, het pied. But like, look at that. I hope it comes through the camera. But the colors on this thing are just wild. The flaming goes from orange, or from yellow to like orange, then to purple up the sides. I don't know if it's coming through, but it's a stunning animal. Actually, I'm going to get the third animal out again just to show a quick comparison. Let's see. So if you take Pastel away from this and add Hypo, that's what we're talking about. Pastel interacting with like Enchi and Leopard, I guess, or making that kind of iconic head stamp there. You take Pastel out and it cancels that interaction out. Oh, they're hissing at me. But yeah, just wanted to show the side by side. Take Pastel away, add Hypo. I believe. If I'm wrong, let me know. I'm always learning. So if you guys see something I don't see or have a little more experience with these combos, feel free to chime in the comments. I'm always willing to listen and learn from people who have more experience than myself, or even less experience than myself. I'm not above learning from anybody, to be honest. Okay, so the last animal Okay, so this animal, as you can see, has not shed. These guys have been in the rack for over a week, and they've been out of the egg for pretty much, I think, a month exactly today. And this animal has not shed. And the reason for that is it never absorbed its egg sac. The day after the egg cutting in the morning, as the kids were getting ready to go to school, I came down to take a peek at the hatchlings before we went out the door. And this is what I saw. The animal had crawled out of the egg, and it was dragging the egg sac because there was a knot in the umbilicus. It couldn't absorb the egg sac at all. And luckily, I'd seen that topic covered on a live with Mutation Creation not long before that, and I kind of knew exactly what to do because of that. I went upstairs, grabbed some dental floss, made a knot with using the dental floss, tied the umbilicus off, and excised it away and cut it away. And the animal, that part that was left over, the little umbilical cord nub, whatever you want to call it, it dried up and fell off within about a day. And the animal's completely fine. But because it didn't absorb its egg sac, it didn't get, my hypothesis, I guess, is it didn't get that initial little growth spurt that causes them to shed. So it hasn't shed yet. I've offered it a meal several times, very small meals. First a rat pinky, then an ASF pinky, and now we're kind of at the time where I might have to assist feed the animal. It's still healthy, and it's got its reserves, but it's there's only so long you can wait. I might offer it again today just to see if it takes it on its own. And if not, I'm going to probably assist feed tomorrow. But, the idea of the animal, I believe, is OD Enchi Hypo. So that's good news. If you're following along, you probably realize I got none of these right when they were in the egg. Let's see if we can sex the animal. I usually don't do it until after they've shed, but that looks like a female. So that's the story of this little fella. And that's why we cut eggs. A lot of people have a problem with it. For some reason, I don't know. Like, I get messages, even just being a little guy with barely any reach. People reach out and kind of give me a hard time about cutting eggs. But this is why. Would the animal have survived from where you saw it in that picture? It's possible. It might have just, the umbilicus might have dried up and fell off on its own. But I don't think it would have survived if we didn't cut the egg, because these guys don't pip until they've started to absorb that egg sac, if not fully absorbed it. So this animal, if I chose not to cut eggs at all, it would probably have drowned in the egg. Like, I firmly believe that. So anyway, that's why we cut eggs, to give these guys a chance. And again, this guy's not out of the woods yet, but he certainly has a better chance of survival than he would have had with a tied umbilicus inside the egg. So anyway, that's it for the video, guys. Thanks for checking it out. If this is the kind of thing you're into, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, comment down below, and we'll see you on the next one.